special officer like incoming informational meeting. So to start everything off, who knows what that song was from? Like, what TV show featured that song? If you've been here on like previous meetings, you would know which TV show I'm like most. No? Okay, that's fine. Um, no takers. Features an anthropomorphic horse that's washed up.
BoJack Horseman.
Yes. Woo! Yay. Uh-huh. Very good song. I really like it. Anyways, so I guess as we move on, it's not gonna be that long. It's not gonna take up the entire office hours, but just we're gonna be going over important information and the meeting will be recorded. So if you guys want to like, I don't know, ask questions at any time of the presentation, just unmute and talk, or you can put it in the chat and we'll have some of the officers keep an eye on that so we could get all your questions answered. Also, the officer applications will be dropping at the end of this meeting, so stay tuned for that. All right, so let's get it going. All right.
Before we start, can we ask everyone to turn on their cameras for a little bit? We want to see who you guys are, just to meet you guys a little bit.
Okay, so let's go begin. So for those of you guys who don't know, MSJ CSF is can we change slides, please? Yeah, there we go. MSJ is like we're kind of like an academic club on campus where we emphasize like community service and scholarships and academic achievement. So typically what we do is that we provide some volunteer opportunities, although that has been spare, like not as much in this time of COVID, but that's okay. And we also provide especially scholarship information. So this could help with like college fees. And we also have, the way our club is run is a little bit different in that we have applications for official membership. So that's based on your GPA or your course load each semester. So it's like a semester-based club, academic club. So that's different. Our motto is scholarships for service because we all love scholarships and we all love free money and we all love servicing the community. Yeah, let's move on.
All right, I'll take the next one. So today's agenda is basically our introductions, what Sarah just did, having an introduction of all of our officer positions and who we're looking for. And the final step of our today's event is to send out the application form so all of you can submit. So with that, let's begin. So we have 7 positions here, actually 6, but 7 people. The co-presidents, vice president, secretary, treasurer, activities coordinator, and publicity officer. So each one of us are gonna give a little, maybe 30-second introduction about their role in CSF and how CSF has impacted their high school's career. So let's start off with Sarah then.
Hi everybody. I'm Sarah here, and basically I got started in CSF in like 9th grade. I was like, oh yeah, prestige, but then eventually it was like I loved hanging out with the officer team more because they were very chill, and so I think I really wanted to help the MSJ community around me, so I just signed up to be an officer, and lo and behold, 11th grade me, here I am, co-president. So yeah, typically as a co-president, I generally just talk with our, like, we don't really have a hierarchy here. It's just like generally everybody working together to make sure the club is run well. So it's not just like me delegating everybody else tasks. It's more like, hey everybody, like what do we all want to do in the next meeting, or like what we all want to get started on, be that merch or scholarships or like special events. So yeah. Anika, if you want to share.
Yeah, so I'm Anika. I'm also a co-president. I also got started with CSF in my freshman year, but that was a long time ago when the club was like extremely dead. And we had like there was like one meeting the whole year, and there was like one Madeline fundraiser for MC week, and that was pretty much it. And then after that, obviously CSF became really active, and especially this year, I think this is probably the best year that CSF has had in a while. So thank you to the officer team and especially Sarah for making that happen. But I think CSF is really cool because I know there was like a lack of resources for scholarships and summer programs and college information, I think. So I think it's really cool that we got to fill that void this year. And I hope that CSF remains as active as it has been.
I don't think Yawen is
Yeah,
here.
Yawen's not here yet, so let's move on to Yamuna. So Yamuna, can you take it away?
So hi, my name is Yamuna and I'm the secretary, and I'm really thankful to be part of this officer team because, as Sarah said, we collectively work together. It's not a hierarchy, which is sort of demotivating in a sense. So we all work together to achieve a common goal, which is help this club run. And as secretary, I take notes during our officer meetings, and I write down the number of participants that attend our meetings and things like that. Yeah.
All right,
I guess
great.
I'll go.
Yeah, there you go.
So hello guys, I'm Kaylee. I think you guys can see I'm treasurer and also master. I guess I'll just start off talking about the officer team first. Yeah, I guess building off of what everyone else has said, it's pretty cool working in a team where there's kind of like no hierarchy, and we kind of all collaborate and work together on stuff. I guess the best example of this was the night before. Not the night before, but a couple of days before the CSF conference, where we all had to work on our presentation and work together on recording it and work on the presentation and what we all wanted to write. So that was like my fondest memory of everyone collaborating and working on a shared common goal, because it was stressful, but it was actually pretty fun since it was like the first time that we've actually been at the conference. Considering how dead the club was before, I feel like that's a valid statement. I guess my duties as treasurer include kind of what the name encompasses. I do most of the financial stuff. I fill out all the forms, make sure that we have enough money in the bank. This year, we weren't really able to hold any fundraisers, but I'm kind of making plans for next year's treasurers to kind of start bolstering the account, to make sure we're able to pay all our fees and like start giving out more opportunities for students of future years, future CSF members. So we kind of want to keep that momentum going. As webmaster, it's not really a specific role here, but there's like a separate question on the application asking if you'd like to be webmaster. Webmaster is kind of like one of like the unofficial roles of CSF, but what I do is I kind of manage. It's kind of a little bit expanded to just tech, a little bit in general. For example, of course, webmaster, my main duty is to manage the website. So I'm kind of the one that gets all the information there up on time. So if you guys do miss a meeting, the slides are there, and I kind of play around with all like the organization of all that stuff. I guess I also kind of have like a little side duty to manage the YouTube channel, kind of along with Kyle. So Kyle uploads it, and then I gotta make the thumbnails and make sure it's all uniform and nice, and then I can also post that on the website. And I've had some computer science experience, so it helps a little bit for me. For example, if you guys have seen on the website, there's the member recognition. Hopefully you guys have been able to take a look at that, but that's how we kind of keep track of who's kind of in line to get what award and how many years you guys have been a member of CSF. Highly recommend you guys to check it out if you guys haven't already, but it's on the resources page right at the bottom. But for example, I had to do regex. I had to type in different formulas into the Google Sheets, and I spent like an entire afternoon figuring out how to do that and kind of streamline the entire process. So kind of for both roles, it kind of, I guess for officer roles, it's not really a set role, but your job kind of expands a lot. So keep that in mind.
All right, so now Yawen's here. Yawen, can you explain your role as vice president and how CSF has changed you?
Okay, sure. So, as vice president, I basically have to do the tasks that basically kind of miscellaneous ones to help the other officers, and I also I'm also partially responsible for the partnership with Tutorfly and some of the communication, and I did that with Ayushi, who is the activities coordinator. And I think a lot of the vice president roles are kind of flexible. So some things I've worked on are making the making forms for senior regalia and adding to the presentation slides and contacting people sometimes. So as vice president, I learned quite a bit about time management and also a bit about how various things like Excel documents and stuff like that works.
Great, thank you. Sorry, Ayushi, I know you unmuted for a bit, but I'll let you take it away from here.
Okay, thank you, Kyle. Hey everyone, my name is Ayushi and I started CSF in my freshman year and I'm currently the activities coordinator for CSF. So over my time this year, I've had the pleasure of working with an amazing officer team, which I highly enjoyed. And like everyone else has said, the atmosphere is super collaborative. There aren't any like super set hierarchical roles and strict bounds. So I think it was really beneficial to have a sort of an open collaborative atmosphere to work in where everyone could bounce off ideas off of each other. And like Yawen said earlier, we worked together in helping the Tutorfly event in bringing Tutorfly and the event earlier this year. So some of the roles of an activities coordinator are basically just to like create, manage, and communication with events and like and basically streamline all of that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And I hope you all have had a good time this year.
Okay, well, it's my turn. So my name is Kyle Yuen, and I am the publicity officer for CSF. I actually started in my sophomore year compared to the rest of all the officers, which surprisingly. But anyway, what I do is I make all of the flyers that you see in the Facebook group and Scoop and all of those events. I actually were the ones that made it alongside with some other ones like Kaylee that did the YouTube ones and Yawen who did some of them too. So I actually took on the role myself of helping out with the officer application sessions. I actually made all of those flyers for like those alumni interviews and current officer testimonies. Those ones you see on the CSF group, I made those. And one thing that I learned from CSF is how to communicate effectively. So we're all a team here. So we have to be able to collaborate really well and efficient. And I think that we learned quite a lot from that here this year. And I hope that we can expand what we've done here at CSF this year and move it forward even larger in the future. Okay.
Sorry,
so
can I quickly bring up like a point about CSF?
Yeah.
I think I might not have emphasized this enough, but like this branch of CSF has actually been at this goal for 40 years. Like this year we're celebrating the 40th anniversary. So as you guys are all part of CSF as a member, you guys are essentially part of like history right now. CSF, although it has been dead for like, as Anika said, a couple of years before this, CSF is still like a really huge pillar of what makes MSJ MSJ. And it's been here for a really long time. So happy you guys be here. And like, if you guys are able to make it to the officer team, it's really groundbreaking. And yeah.
Great, Kaylee. Thank you for that. So next slide, Sarah.
All right, so now that you've gotten an overview about like the officer teams, I wanted to reiterate that it was a rebuilding year this year and last year. And with the new officer team for the years like 2021 to 2022, we really want to continue that momentum. So because of that, we want some of the a short list of like activities that we're going to be working on is just like regular meetings. So if you guys notice, it was once every 2 weeks this year, and that means like creating slides for them, meeting to discuss about what this next section of meetings is going to be, maybe practicing beforehand. So there's that, and we also have a chapter fee to pay at the beginning of every year. That's $150, and I think CSF the organization has also started the student leadership conference. So I would be expecting like we would have to work together and sign up for it and do like another presentation for it. And we are also working on like finding CSF specific scholarships, CSF merch, any of those prizes, as well as like releasing out semester applications and taking in members based on GPA, and also the personalized scholarships and personalized summer programs. So as you can see, that's a lot of stuff to do, and but it's also very rewarding. So we would love, mainly what we're looking for is just enthusiastic, passionate individuals who are dedicated, punctual, and like they take initiative and are and have integrity. So yeah, that's mainly the main pillars of like what a CSF officer is supposed to be like. Yeah.
Yeah, so great job, Sarah. You did a great explanation of that. My next point in this presentation is the timeline. So today is our info session where you met all of us and basically what we did today. So that's already done. But the next step is with the application. So we're giving you about 1 week to finish this application. It's a couple of short questions. I'll introduce it to you guys later in the next slide. And after that, there will be an interview on the next week after that. So it's May 10th to May 14th. After that, it will be maybe a week after, it will be the selection time, which we'll be notifying you via email. So now to the application part. So this is the tiny URL link. Can someone link it into the chat, please? Thank you. And I'm gonna screen share a new slide. So this is our CSF officer application. A little bit about it. It asks for your email, name, you choose two positions that you're interested in, and another question about the webmaster. So as Kaylee mentioned earlier, the webmaster role is an unofficial role. So if someone is willing to take over the role of the webmaster, that would be great. The next questions are just experience and commitment, and just a little statement and a little fun question. So next, after you fill out this application, due to how many people are in this meeting and how much we're projecting, who's going to apply, we actually are going to have an interview week. So it's about 5-minute interview just to get to know you a little bit more about your application, some extra questions that we may have for you guys. This week is a little bit off. Sorry, let me change that. So this is May 10th through May 14th. We're going to have times during office hours, lunch, and after school, a little bit after school, so we can get a little bit to know about you. So yeah, I guess that is that for the interview. So this is a first come, first serve basis, meaning that the earlier you submit your application, it would be easier. You get to pick your slot first. And it also shows your dedication toward MSJ CSF. So it's not a rush, but we prefer you guys to submit it earlier than like 11:59 on the due date. All right. Do you guys have any questions regarding the CSF application?
So someone sent to me, do we have to be a member in order to apply for an officer? The general consensus is that yes, but technically, when you become an officer, you are assumed to be an official member of CSF. in case your GPA says otherwise. But yeah, yeah, I encourage everyone to apply. You don't need to be an official member as of right now, but it's certainly encouraged.
Yeah, a little bit about it. So I actually was a CSF member during my sophomore year, as I mentioned, but my GPA actually didn't make it toward the semester 2. And I'm still an officer here for CSF, so that explains something. So I encourage everyone to apply still.
So another person said, where's the Google Sheet for the interview schedule? So,
Wait, let me take care of that. That is going to be sent after you fill out the application. I just gave you a little preview of what you are going to expect in the application process.
that's great. Okay. And someone else said, does everyone who submits the application get an interview? We'll see based on like the application sent in and how many people apply, but we are looking to interview as many prospective officers as possible to get to know you all, you know? So yeah. And someone else said, could you repeat the role of the webmaster? Kaylee, would you like to take this?
Webmaster, I guess Webmaster, you need to kind of know our website is built into WordPress. So you kind of you definitely kind of have to figure your way around WordPress and kind of understand how to maybe edit the information that's already on there. It's pretty extensive website right now. So you'd kind of be doing some research on your own to see how to make the website better, add some more info on it and update it with current slides and YouTube stuff. It's not a set role again. So kind of what I do, I think at first the webmaster thing was just to manage the website, but I kind of just started filling in the cracks of all the other parts. So as I mentioned before, doing the regex on the Google Sheets and trying to figure that out, and kind of just inputting all that data in to helping out with the YouTube thumbnails and stuff. I think you can probably, I don't know who asked that question, but like, do you need me to elaborate more? I think I need to emphasize again that it's really not a set role, but I kind of just manage the stuff. I kind of just fill in the cracks basically. And it's pretty expansive. All right, you're welcome. Do you need me to expand a little bit on that, or you good? All right, in that case. All right, yeah, I think you guys will just send your questions to chat or direct it to any of the officers and then we can answer it.
So everyone who's here today, I'm going to send out the link to the application via email, so you don't have to like memorize the link. So don't worry about that. And there is nothing else I need to say about it. Sarah, do you want to add anything on? Or yeah, you can put it in the chat too.
Yeah, I think that concludes our short reading, but if you guys have any more questions, feel free to DM any one of us or email us at msjcsf@gmail.com. Yeah, and we're excited to see your application.
All right, thank you guys, and I hope to see you guys soon during your interviews.
Yep.
All right, bye.
You know, one thing we should